Would you ever have thought that a seemingly insignificant object like the broom you use to clean your house could play a fundamental role in your life? In this video, thanks to Buddhist wisdom, you will discover that you should never put the broom in these places of the house if you want to attract prosperity and inner peace. And stay until the end of the story, because the last tip you will hear is the most important one of all for the sake of your spiritual growth. But before continuing, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications so you can stay updated on new content. In the heart of a Japan suspended between ancient and modern, where the rustling of bamboo leaves merged with the distant buzz of the metropolis, there stood a temple, an oasis of peace, nestled among the folds of a lush and uncontaminated nature. Known as the Temple of Quiet Harmony, this sacred place was a beacon for souls seeking refuge from the chaos of the world, a sanctuary where time seemed to slow down, allowing thoughts to settle and spirits to find their center. Here, among meticulously tended Zen gardens, ponds populated by brightly colored koi carp, and paths of stone smoothed by time, lived an elderly Buddhist master named Hirosi. Master Hirosi was not a monk like many others. His fame preceded him, woven from the stories of those who had found comfort and wisdom in his words. It was said that his eyes, of a deep and penetrating blue, had the power to see beyond appearances, to read hearts, and to understand the invisible plots of destiny. His voice, calm and deep as the hum of a gong, had the ability to calm the inner storms and illuminate the darkest paths of existence. He had spent much of his life in solitude, meditating in caves hidden among the mountain peaks, where the silence was broken only by the whistling of the wind and the distant cry of eagles. In that absolute silence, he had learned to listen to the voice of nature, to decipher the messages whispered by the ancient trees, and to understand the secret language of the cosmos. One spring morning, when the air was crisp and the sun painted the sky with strokes of pink and gold, a motley group of people gathered at the foot of the long, winding path that led to the temple. They had come from every corner of Japan, driven by an inner restlessness, by a deep need to find answers to the questions that crowded their minds and weighed down their hearts. Among them was Kenji, a young merchant from Osaka whose face was marked by constant anxiety. Despite his hard work, prosperity seemed to slip away from him like sand through his fingers. His once thriving business was now languishing, and the weight of debt oppressed him day and night. Next to him, wrapped in a dull-colored silk kimono, was Hana, a middle-aged woman who had recently lost her husband in a tragic accident. Her gaze was lost in the void, her heart an echo of pain and loneliness. She was looking for comfort, a light that could illuminate the darkness into which she had fallen. Further on, a couple could be seen, Takashi and Aiko, whose faces betrayed a deep tension. Once united by a vibrant love, they now seemed like two strangers, separated by an invisible wall of misunderstandings and silences. They had come to the temple with the hope of finding the lost harmony, of rekindling the spark that once illuminated their union. Among the other visitors, there was a young artist tormented by insecurity, an elderly samurai seeking inner peace after a life spent on the battlefield, and a single mother struggling to secure a future for her children. Each of them was a story in itself, a universe of hopes and fears, of broken dreams and unexpressed desires. After a long and tiring climb, the group finally reached the temple. Master Hiroshi was waiting for them in the garden, sitting cross-legged under an ancient cherry tree. His figure exuded an aura of calm and serenity that immediately pervaded the souls of the visitors. His eyes, similar to two pools of wisdom, rested on each of them, penetrating their souls and reading their unspoken stories. With a gentle nod, he invited them to sit across from him. A respectful silence fell over the garden, broken only by the soft singing of birds and the rustling of leaves in a light breeze. The delicate scent of cherry blossoms permeated the air, creating an atmosphere of enchanting beauty. It was Kenji, the young merchant, who broke the silence. His voice, full of concern, rang out in the quiet air of the garden. "Master," he said with a deep bow, "I have traveled for many days in the hope of finding an answer to my torments. I am a merchant and I have always worked hard and honestly, but despite my efforts, prosperity seems to elude me. My business is failing, debts are piling up, and the fear of failure keeps me awake at night. What can I do to reverse this bad luck and finally attract the fortune and success I so desire?" Master Hiroshi listened attentively, his expression serene and unruffled. When Kenji finished speaking, the master nodded slowly and replied in a calm, deep voice, "Prosperity, my dear Kenji, is like a river that flows swiftly. By its very nature, it always seeks the freest path, where water can flow without obstacles. Your home, the place where you live and spend most of your time, is a reflection of your inner state, your spirit, and your energy. Each object that composes it has its own vibration that contributes to the general harmony or lack thereof. Have you ever considered, Kenji," the master continued, "the hidden power that resides in your broom?" A wave of perplexity passed through the group. What did a simple broom have to do with prosperity and success in business? Hiroshi, sensing their astonishment, smiled benevolently. "The broom," he explained, "is much more than a simple cleaning tool. It is a powerful symbol. It represents the ability to sweep away not only physical dirt, but also negative energies, stagnant influences, limiting thoughts that accumulate in our home and, by extension, in our life." Hana, the mourning woman, dared to interrupt. "Master, how can such a simple object have such power?" Hiroshi looked at her with compassion. "Imagine, Hana," he replied, "the energy that permeates your home like a crystalline stream. This water represents vitality, joy, love, prosperity. By its nature, this water tries to flow freely. But if the stream encounters an obstacle, what happens? The water stops, becomes stagnant, loses its purity. A broom, dear Hana," she continued, "if placed in the wrong place, acts just like that dam. It blocks the free flow of positive energies. On the contrary, if used and placed with awareness, the broom becomes a powerful ally that helps you remove obstacles and restore harmony." "Master," Takashi asked, "what are the places where we should never put the broom?" Hiroshi nodded. "There are places in the house," he began, "that are particularly sensitive to energies. Placing the broom in these places is like inviting disorder and bad luck into one's life." And so, patiently, the wise master began to list the places to avoid. The living room, the beating heart of the house, is the first place to keep free from the presence of the broom. It is here that the family gathers and welcomes guests. Placing the broom here means dispersing positive energy, creating a disorderly and unbalanced atmosphere. The bathroom is also a place to absolutely avoid. Hiroshi continued, "According to many traditions, it is a place where negative energy tends to accumulate. The broom, in an environment like the bathroom, not only absorbs negative energy, but amplifies it and spreads it throughout the house. The main entrance," she continued, "is the mouth of energy, the point where the positive flow enters the house. Placing the broom here creates a barrier that prevents positive energies from entering. The kitchen and dining room are also inappropriate places for a broom," the master explained. "These spaces are associated with abundance and nourishment. Putting a broom in the kitchen or dining room symbolizes sweeping away wealth and good fortune. Finally, Hiroshi concluded the bedroom, the place of rest and intimacy, must absolutely be preserved from the presence of the broom. This is the most personal space in the house, a refuge where we recharge. The broom disturbs the peace, interferes with the quality of sleep, and can generate tension in relationships. And do not forget to avoid placing the broom near an altar or a sacred space. The altar is a place of connection with the divine. The broom near the altar contaminates its purity. And where should we put the broom then, Master? Kenji asked. Hiroshi smiled. There are many ideal places, he replied. Behind the house is a good location, a secluded spot that allows negative energy to be expelled. A back balcony or an unfrequented hallway are also good choices. If you have a storage room, that is an ideal place. Alternatively, you can place it in a hidden corner behind a door. And of course, a cleaning closet is perfect. Remember, the master added, the position of your broom plays a key role in the energy of your home. And now, I will reveal to you an ancient ritual to multiply the prosperity of your home using your broom. Every morning before you begin cleaning, take a moment to hold the broom in your hands and visualize your home filling with golden light. Imagine this light as the energy of prosperity permeating every corner of your home. Then, with intention and gratitude, say these words: "With this broom, I sweep away every obstacle to my prosperity. With this broom, I open the doors to abundance and happiness. May my home be a temple of light, harmony, and infinite prosperity." This simple ritual, the master concluded, will transform your broom into a magical instrument, a catalyst of positive energy. As the visitors departed, they took with them not only a valuable lesson, but also a sense of having made a new beginning. Hiroshi's lesson on the broom was a metaphor for managing one's life, removing what is harmful and welcoming what is positive and nourishing. Extra tip: in addition to the morning ritual, Master Hiroshi had shared with them one more piece of advice. Once a month, he said, under the light of the full moon, purify your broom. Pass over it some sandalwood or white sage incense smoke, visualizing all the negative energies it has absorbed being swept away by the purifying light of the moon. Then, sprinkle the bristles with a few drops of spring water or water in which you have immersed quartz crystals to recharge it with positive energy. The story of the hidden power of the broom became a legend, passed down from generation to generation, a warning to never underestimate the importance of harmony between us and the environment in which we live. And you, reader, are you ready to put these ancient teachings into practice? Are you ready to transform your broom from a simple tool to an instrument of prosperity? Remember the words of Master Hiroshi: bless your home and your life will change in an astonishing way.